Good afternoon, I'm Tom. This afternoon I want to take some new dirt and fix a bad spot on my lawn, and I'm just going to take a few seconds to go over that with you. I've got this spot here. I had rototilled alongside the driveway here, and bankings are notoriously difficult to get grass to grow. When you get water on it, it tends to flush the seed obviously down slope. So just throwing grass seed down usually is a waste, and it ends up, you'll get a section at the bottom that grows really well, and then the part on the sides doesn't. One thing that's worked pretty well for me over the years is this product right here, and keep in mind I'm not a representative of Scott's. I'm just a guy, but I've been using this since the 90s, and what it looks like, I don't know if you've ever seen the spray foam insulation. It kind of looks like that. It used to be more green, and it does turn greener after you've wet it, but what's in it is ryegrass, fescue, more ryegrass, a different type of it, and Kentucky bluegrass. And so the creeping red fescue is a kind of grass that, well, it creeps, it ends up spreading. Usually they'll put in a little bit of annual grass. The Kentucky bluegrass takes a little longer to germinate, and so what happens is the annual, or some of the cheaper grades of the perennial ryegrass will start to germinate first, and then the bluegrass will follow the roots down in and set themselves. And you can see here it's got inert matter, which is this 89%, and that's what looks like it's shredded paper pretty much. And then there's a little bit of starter fertilizer in it, and that's pretty much what it is. And so what this does is when you put it down, you wet it, and then it sticks like glue. And unless you get a torrential downpour, it's gonna stick. One other trick I use is some old hay out of the barn. I'll sometimes cover the area that I want to seed down with some hay, and you want to keep the sun off those seeds until they germinate. If you just scratch the soil and throw seeds and water on it, a lot of those seeds just won't germinate because they'll be killed by the sunlight. So in the bucket of my tractor here, I've got some of this nice dirt out of the garden that I just tilled over. And what you want to do is just, if you're not putting new dirt in to fill in low spots, take the back side of your rake. This is how I know I've got good dirt. I've got all these worms in it. You can take your rake, take the tines, and scratch the surface a little bit, because you want to loosen up the bed of where you're going to plant your seeds, so the seeds have something to attach to. Depending upon your skills with shovel spreading will determine whether or not you're going to pick up the rake and rake out the flat spots. Fortunately, I've been doing this for a long time, and I didn't have to pick up the rake. So I understand a lot of you probably don't have all this good farm dirt to use, and you wonder where you can get good dirt. Well, you can make some for small amounts. You can get a wheelbarrow, and I've done this previously and it works really well. You take a wheelbarrow, you put 3 bags, 3 40-pound bags of topsoil in it. You put in a bag of composted cow manure, and then you mix in a little bit of like Pro Mix, maybe a shovelful of Pro Mix, and then you mix it all up real good, and then you spread it and you plant your seed in it, and it really takes off. Now if you've got a lot of seeding to do, your best bet's to get a dump truck load, and depending upon where you live, the price per yard, which is how it'll be sold in bulk, it could be 30 bucks a yard, it could be 15 bucks a yard. It really varies. And then you've got screened, which has the rocks and sticks taken out, versus unscreened, which is fine if you don't mind raking out that stuff after you spread it. But keep in mind, you're gonna pay for a yard, and maybe up to 15%, 20% of it could be rocks and stuff that's no good other than for fill. A lot of companies will have a minimum load that they'll bring you, like 3 yards maybe, or you can get up to a big dump truck load with 16 yards on it. So it really varies. But what I wouldn't do is just go buy some lawn soil, throw it down, and throw seeds on it and expect good results, because the lawn soil is just sticks and leaves and pine needles. It really doesn't grow much for grass. So here we've got some good farm dirt, and I've given you a couple tips on where to get the dirt, and now let's throw down some of this seed. When it comes to spreading your seed, you can use a broadcast spreader. Personally, I found the best spreader to use is the Scott's. It's a portable hand crank one. You just carry it and turn the crank while you're walking. And I don't put down a lot of fertilizer, so I've seeded in several pastures with it, and so you just fill the hopper and walk along and turn the crank and your seed goes out. You can also feed the chickens. That works great too. Anyway, hopefully this has been beneficial, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you for watching.